Today on MH News, we're sharing with you our top 5 tips for profitable branding. Welcome to MH News, everybody. I'm your host, Matt Haslam. Right now, we're doing a 5-part series on our top 5 tips for 5 different careers in entertainment, including branding, which is what today's episode is all about. In the past couple episodes, we talked about filmmakers, lighting for live events, audio for live events, and musicians. So click right here to check all of those episodes out after today's episode is over. We'll also put a link in the description. This episode was our mystery topic, and you submitted your ideas to info@mhaslam.com, and this is the one we chose. So thanks to your suggestions, this week is all about branding for those in the entertainment industry. You can have the best product or service in the world, a product or service everyone needs, and yet no one else can provide better than you can. You can even have a fantastic price for your product or service, which is affordable for the average consumer, and highly profitable for you, and yet because of one key item, you won't have any business at all. I've seen this all way too many times. There are tons of people in entertainment who don't have a brand. For instance, I often try to go to as many local events as I can in my spare time, just to see what other bands and performers are doing, and to also enjoy time with my family and friends. But what baffles my mind is when a band, the audio lighting crew, absolutely no one has business cards displayed. Even when you ask them for their card, their best suggestion is to write their name and number on a napkin and hand you that. And like I said many times in this program, and I feel like I'm going to say many more times, it always humors me that these are the same people who will turn around and wonder why they aren't making money in entertainment. Needless to say, you need to have a consistent brand. If you've ever seen anything we've ever been a part of, I make it a point to have my logo and brand seamlessly infused with that production. For instance, you can imagine what the MH stands for in MH News. You'll also notice the Matt Haslam Productions logo on the top right corner to any of our videos on YouTube. We have that same logo at the top of our website, on all of our business cards, brochures, flyers, banners which are displayed at most of the events we're a part of, our social media pages. Our brand has even been featured in local news articles, in papers and radio stations, and also our logo is printed on the side of all of our vehicles that we use in traveling, even if it's just to run family errands. Basically, Matt Haslam Productions brand has become commonplace in our local community and surrounding areas, and I've made it difficult for people to say that they haven't ever heard of us. This is the complete antithesis of what every other local competitor of mine has done. Most bands, filmmakers, and engineering outfits don't want to advertise, and in some cases don't even have a name, let alone a logo, then are perplexed as to why they aren't doing well. So our number 5 tip is to come up with a name, logo, and tagline for your brand. It should include and describe what product or services you sell, and if at all possible, include how well you do it. For instance, we've taglined all of our productions with "where production meets perfection." So come up with something catchy and don't just copy and paste ours. First off, it's copyrighted. Number 4 on our list is to create a business card with your logo and tagline on it. It should also include your contact information, which should include your website, your name, phone number, email address, and physical address. Business cards are relatively inexpensive nowadays, thanks to Vistaprint.com, but they may seem overly expensive if you try to get a local print shop to print them for you. Coming in at number 3 is to design your own website with the help from Wix.com. It's free, and you don't have to know a lot about web designing or HTML formatting before creating your site. Plus, it looks really great. Make sure to include on your website a Contact Us page and list your services, which should also include pictures or video from some of your past work, the latest work. This also means your site should be updated regularly at least once a month. You can also include SEO or search engine optimization keywords, which tell Google and other search engines what type of product or services you sell. That way Google doesn't have to look through your whole site to find what you do. It can easily pick up on keywords like filmmaker, director, or video production, and it makes it easier for people to find you through search engines. Furthermore, At least one of your SEO keywords should include your local area. So if you're located in New York, you would want one of your key phrases to be New York area. That way it allows for customers to know that you're local. Many times your customers will type into Google, Bing, or other search engines what they are looking for and a location. For instance, filmmaker in Pennsylvania. This is because they want to narrow their search so they aren't searching through hundreds of websites from companies outside of their area, which might have to travel a far distance to meet with them. The more descriptive you are with your SEO words, the easier it will be for your customers to find you online. We also suggest going to domain.com and getting a domain name. If you aren't familiar with what a domain name is, well, a domain name example would be something like MHNews.com, which make it easy for your customers to type into their browser rather than just a really long actual address to your site with several numbers and random letters in it, such as our real web address, which you can see right here. It's a whole lot easier to type in MadHaslamProductions.com, which forwards you to this really long address, than it is to remember this one. Our number 2 tip is to create a Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter page with your logo so you can advertise later on social media. Nowadays, advertising in the local phone book or newspaper is extremely expensive, when most of your customers will find you through social media anyway. Finally, our number 1 tip for branding is to create a uniform. In all of my years in doing this, I have never once seen any crew with uniforms besides those who are successful. Yet another what the f moment. But always dress the part. For instance, we have our logo on polo shirts, which we use for a majority of the events and productions we're a part of. When we're not doing a production, I have at least 40 t-shirts and jackets with my logo on them, which I wear everywhere I go. It's mobile advertising at its best, and nowadays, most of my wardrobe has my branding on it, so it's very rare to see me without it. And while sometimes this annoys my family and friends, it's hard to look past how many times someone comes up to me and asks me for a business card, even in the middle of a grocery aisle. But most importantly, aside from the 5 tips, is to actually use them. Don't just create a website and never update it. Don't just get business cards and forget to bring them with you. As a general rule of thumb, it's important, nay, vital to your survival in business, to always keep at least 10 business cards on you at all times in your wallet. If someone comes up to you asking for your card and you don't have one, you will never ever in a million years get their business, and you never know which potential customer could end up being your biggest, so always have them on hand. If you want to take it a step further, do as I did and YouTube how to shake someone's hand and pass them a business card without them realizing it. It's really fun to see people's reactions to that. If you have any tips or tricks you'd like to share, or if you'd like to mention a type of advertising you find worthwhile, please comment below on Facebook or YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for plenty of great content and tips to come. Thanks for watching, and see us back here every Sunday and Thursday for brand new episodes.